Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta Falcons FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the NFC South this season, you know that things are stirring in a major way. The Atlanta Falcons, a team that's been on the cusp of greatness for a while now, are suddenly facing a new reality that could reshape their entire trajectory for the upcoming seasons. And trust me, this isn't just some minor blip. We're talking about a potential shift in power in the division, one that might leave some rivals trying to catch up for a long time. So what exactly is happening? Well, let's dive deep into what could be a game-changing development for Atlanta. The Falcons, as many of you know, have been building something special over the past few seasons. Under the guidance of head coach Arthur Smith and with a roster that's been steadily improving, they've shown flashes of brilliance, especially on offense. But the story this year isn't just about their offensive fireworks or their defensive resilience. It's about the injuries, more specifically the injury to tight end Kyle Pitts, one of the most talented young players in the league. Pitts, a guy who's been heralded as a generational talent since he stepped into the league, suddenly finds himself facing a significant hurdle, and that has many fans and analysts worried about what's next. Now, I want to take a moment to really emphasize how crucial Kyle Pitts has been to this Falcons team. Since entering the league, Pitts has been a game changer, a mismatch nightmare for defenses, capable of lining up in multiple positions from tight end to wide receiver. His size, speed, and catching ability make him one of the most dynamic threats in the NFL. And for Atlanta, losing him, even temporarily, could be a major blow. It's not just about losing a player, it's about losing a pivotal piece of their offensive puzzle, a guy who often drew double coverage and opened up opportunities for others like Drake London and Bijan Robinson. But what's even more concerning is the commentary coming from the Falcons' coaching staff, particularly RAHEEM Morris, the defensive coordinator, who recently made some ominous remarks about Pitts' injury. Morris, known for his candidness, hinted that Pitts' injury might be more serious than initially thought, and that recovery could take longer than expected. This isn't just a minor tweak or a sprain. We're talking about something that could impact Pitts' availability for a significant stretch of the season and potentially beyond. If Pitts is sidelined for an extended period, it could hamper Atlanta's offensive rhythm, especially given how much they rely on their tight end in both the passing game and as a blocker. And let's think about the bigger picture here. The NFC South has been a division full of surprises, with teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Carolina Panthers, and New Orleans Saints all vying for supremacy. But right now, the Falcons are trying to carve out their own identity as a serious contender. They've added talent in the draft, notably with Bijan Robinson, the dynamic running back, and have shown flashes of brilliance on both sides of the ball. However, injuries like this threaten to throw a wrench into their plans, especially at a position as vital as tight end. Now, for fans of the Falcons, this news is both frustrating and concerning. It's frustrating because we all want to see Pitts thrive and help lead this team to big victories, maybe even a deep playoff run. But it's also a reality check that the NFL is a brutal league where injuries happen all the time and depth really matters. Atlanta has been building that depth, but losing a player of Pitt's caliber is never easy. It tests the resilience of the team, the coaching staff, and the locker room. Speaking of the team's resilience, it's worth mentioning that the Falcons have a strong supporting cast that can step up. Drake London, the emerging wide receiver, has been developing nicely and has shown he can be a reliable target. And then there's Bijan Robinson, who's already making waves as a rookie. The way this team adapts to adversity will be crucial in determining how far they can go this season. Can they fill the void left by Pitts, or will defenses be able to focus more on other weapons? That's the big question. The coaching staff, led by Arthur Smith, has a tough job ahead. They need to quickly adjust their offensive schemes, possibly leaning more on their running game and short to intermediate passes to compensate for the absence of Pitts. The chemistry between quarterback Desmond Ridder and his weapons will be tested, but if there's one thing we know about the Falcons, they're resilient. They've faced adversity before and come out swinging. But this injury, especially if it sidelines Pitts for an extended period, could be a defining moment of their season. Now, let's pause for a second. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal, because the big picture here isn't just about one player or even one injury, it's about how Atlanta responds to this challenge. Will they rally around their injured star? Will other players step up and fill that void? That's what makes this season so interesting, and it's why Falcons fans need to stay tuned. Looking back at the Falcons' recent history, we see a team that's been knocking on the door for a while, trying to find that consistent winning formula. There have been ups and downs, of course, some seasons promising but ultimately falling short of the playoffs. But the core of this team has been promising, especially with the recent draft picks and free agent signings. The addition of Bijan Robinson, considered one of the best running backs to enter the league in years, was a huge boost. His ability to run between the tackles, catch passes out of the backfield, and make defenders miss has already made an impact. If Atlanta can establish a strong run game and keep defenses honest, they could still be a playoff contender even without Pitts at full strength. Moreover, the Falcons' defense has been surprisingly solid this season. Under Raheem Morris, their unit has grown more disciplined and aggressive. Players like Grady Jarrett and Calais Campbell continue to anchor the defensive line, while the secondary has shown flashes of playmaking ability. If their defense can step up, they'll be in a good position to compete against any team in the division. But again, injuries at key positions can shift the balance of power quickly, and so it's crucial for Atlanta to stay healthy and adapt on the fly. In terms of expectations for the rest of the season, Falcons fans are rightfully optimistic but cautious. The NFC South has become more unpredictable than ever, with teams like the Saints showing resilience and the Panthers trying to rebuild from scratch. The Buccaneers, led by the veteran Tom Brady before his departure, are still in the mix, but there's a sense that Atlanta could be emerging as the team to beat if they stay healthy and capitalize on their opportunities. The loss of Pitts is a setback, no doubt about it, but it's also a test of their depth, coaching, and mental toughness. Looking ahead, the Falcons' schedule is tough, no doubt about it. They face several division rivals in the coming weeks, and every game in the NFC South will be crucial. The key will be how quickly they can adjust their offense, how well their defense can hold up without Pitts, and whether they can find new ways to attack defenses. The coaching staff has shown they're creative, and the players are motivated to prove doubters wrong. This injury might be a hurdle, but it's also an opportunity for someone else to step into the spotlight. Now, for all of you Falcons fans out there, I want to remind you that the season is long and full of surprises. Injuries are part of the game, but how a team responds is what defines them. This could be the moment where the Falcons show their true character, where young players emerge, and where the team rallies around adversity. And let's not forget, football is a game of resilience, strategy, and heart. If Atlanta can keep their focus, tighten their schemes, and support each other, there's still a lot of hope for a successful season. So as we keep an eye on Pitt's recovery and the team's adjustments, remember that every game, every play, every decision counts. The NFC South is ripe for the taking, and the Falcons have the talent to seize that opportunity if they can stay healthy and motivated. The road to the playoffs is never smooth, but with the right mindset, the Falcons can overcome setbacks and keep chasing that Super Bowl dream. There's a lot to be optimistic about despite the hurdles, and I truly believe this team has what it takes to surprise us all. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this injury situation? Do you believe the team can rally around Pitt's absence? Who do you think needs to step up the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Atlanta Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and we're here to bring you all the insights, analysis, and passion you need. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep the Falcons flying high.